Hey, SEGways.
God damn.
Yeah, I know, we get one more.
I didn't think I was just going to fit. I'm going to blame it on the elevation.
Yeah, we're at 6,000 feet-ish.
Oh.
I know, people are like, whew! So we'll stop here and catch our breath.
Are we not on top?
We're here.
Okay.
We landed.
Jesus.
So, if you said you're staying in Tonopah?
Yes, right.
At the Mizpah?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. The Belvada and the Mizpah are much smaller than the Goldfield. The Goldfield is huge.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger. 150 rooms originally to be rented out as for customers and such. It's a huge hotel, and they designed it and built it originally to be very high-end, very, very fancy, for high-end clientele specifically. It was very modern for its time frame. It had, new amenities and functions that most of the time hotels didn't have, including hot and cold running water in each room. They also were considered to be a fireproof building because there was a Goldfield hotel just right down here, and it had burned to the ground twice. But this one they built to be much larger and to be fireproof. Some of the things we will see when we walk around are from the 1980s, including some of these plastic tub inserts back here. Things like that are very 1980s. So they're old, but they're not that old, not like original old. This is the cowboy shootout hallway, or the gunslinger hallway.
Gunslinger, sure.
Mm-hmm. And so the two cowboys had a disagreement earlier in the day, settled it up here, and I believe that both died. But the gunslinger is the man that hangs out with us still. He is very active at times. Him and I, when I first started doing tours here, I told things that were not true. Every time I'd come up here, any of the voice boxes or anything would say, moron, imbecile, idiot, liar. And I'm like, okay, well then tell me the truth. And nobody would ever tell me the truth there. Then one day, these two guys were doing an investigation here, did a tour like this. We came back up here. I was with one guy, the other guy was on the floor below us. And I got just right down there and I stopped breathing. And he actually choked me. It was very scary, to say the least. I was backed against the wall and the guy with me was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And I couldn't speak. I nothing. I just was like, "No." And then when I finally could say something, I said, "No, get away from me. You're not allowed to touch me. Get your hands off. You can't touch me no more. No touching." And we have an agreement, I hope, knock on wood, that we don't lay hands on people. We don't hurt people. I'm not the only person he's done that to. So
does he do it to women, or can he do it to men as well?
He did it to a man before. Okay. And so we do not antagonize him. We don't want him to be unhappy. From what we've gathered and from what other people have tried to communicate with him, he prefers just to be called Gunslinger. He doesn't want to be called by a specific name, etc. So he's good now. I think good-ish. We're so mobile and so wireless today's world that seeing all those hand-run wires like that is just pretty awesome. And you figured probably the journeyman had to braid them together, wire them together, etc.
Sure, yeah.
But then on the back behind on the wood, you could see the room numbers that they were run to.
Oh, cool.
And I love that you could see that because somebody hand wrote those in years ago, and I just think it should have a piece of glass over it probably, but I just think it's pretty amazing.
I think it's pretty much a trick of the eye, but I thought I saw something in like the corner of that room, but I think it's a mixture of like the light from the camera there, and you can sort of see. It's all that. I thought I saw this was like an outline or something.
Right, or something, and then the shadow or something. Yeah. That happens, but that happens in this building a lot, even when you don't have weird shadows and.
I had the same thing on the 3rd floor when you guys were walking that way. And I was walking backwards just getting B-roll. And he just kind of keeps saying something like...
It's your peripherals.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything.
So I can look at this handrail. If you fell down those stairs and ran into me, I could easily topple over, like
Yeah.
mid-thigh. I would fall over and break my
It's a very
neck.
low handrail, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I can't even, I got to
Yeah, if I ran into you, you'd easily topple over. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if I give you a good shoulder check, you fall over that.
Yeah.
We'll go down this hallway here, and this is where the ladies of the evening were located.
So are these little rooms what I think they are?
At various times they were most likely for the ladies.
So this was a brothel?
Essentially, yeah. Back then, a
So basically
hotel.
it went from, sorry to interrupt, basically it went from like real high end to,
Well, back then,
but that was still acceptable in high end.
Back then, it was kind of expected that at a place like this, you would
Would
have
entertain
ladies
men like
available.
that.
You would
Okay.
have ladies available, and they most likely could, I'm sure, go up to your room or and maybe just live back here. It's hard to say. But if you were to look at the blueprints, it says that this was employee rooms for people who lived on property, basically. And I'm sure that you've heard the stories of the Elizabeth story.
Yes, I
and
have.
over time, I have done this research into all of that, etc. And there are actually 2 different versions of that particular story, both of them the same. The first one has to do with a man who was staying here, living in one of these rooms, working at the hotel. He had his daughter with him. His daughter was having a relationship or a secret relationship with another gentleman who worked here on the property. I'm sure he was probably an older gentleman, or older than her for sure. And they were not supposed to be seeing each other, you could say. Dad wouldn't have approved, and they definitely were not married. She ended up pregnant somehow. When she started to show, she had to tell Dad. Dad was furious, demanded she be chained to the radiator heater located here. She was to remain chained to that radiator heater until she gave birth to the baby, at which time some say threw the baby in the mine shaft, some people say it was under the stairwell. I don't know why you'd put it under the hotel, but you never know. She died, she bled to death 3 days later. As for records of that, no. There was no dad is going to say, yeah, I let my daughter die, didn't care, she shouldn't have been screwing around, whatever. There's no record of that. Then there's the Elizabeth story. And Elizabeth was supposedly a girl who worked as a lady of the evening and was pregnant. When she started to show, she had to tell the madam and the owner were furious and had her chained to the radiator heater. La 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 la. Same story. There's no proof of that. There would not be any proof if it was a lady of the evening, because for one, they were kind of property. You could do with your property as you wish. For two, they would not be of value in the community, so nobody would question it twice. Neither one is going to have backing, but then again, why would you? Why would you go saying, yeah, I killed this girl or whatever? It's not something that you would have said anything about, you know? It'd just be a hush-hush deal. I don't know what the truth is. I have experienced some things in here that had to do with a woman and a baby that were tragic and sad. I also know that I've witnessed other people have situations in this room that were sad, from a woman and a baby and things like that. There is a dark, shadowy figure out in this hallway that darts around, and I don't know for sure, but I feel like he was guarding this room so that nobody would come in and help whoever was in here or what have you. There was also a man who killed himself that worked and lived on the property here.
Stop.
Huh?
I swear, it sounded like a...
I heard it
Like-
when we were on the other side of the building, and
I hope that caught on audio.
I didn't
but I
hear
heard
it.
the same thing when we were on the other side of the building coming from this area.
What, on the ground level?
Yeah, like it's like really soft quiet footsteps sounding. But it was only like 2 or 3.
Like from up here?
Yeah.
Anyone up here?
Because I don't know if there's like any animals or anything.
The odds, because they have it very well sealed up, that there wouldn't be any critters in here. I mean, a mouse could be in here, but there's not very often a mouse in here because I don't see droppings and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could, building settling or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and it could be the wind.
Would it sound like
Right.
like 2? I look behind me and I'm just like, what is that sound? But I was like super quick.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking nothing. I was just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I heard something similar over on this side when we were on the other side, but it was like footsteps. But and I looked, but I just kept going, thinking, maybe it's me.
It could be wind.
I mean, it could be the wind.
Is that wind?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I just heard that was wind.
Yeah, because I heard as soon as I heard the wind come through. I mean, that could be a huge. It is windy.
Okay. Sorry, we interrupted your tour.
That's okay.
Lovely. Maybe the ghost did. I think you were saying a man killed or unalived himself, or however we should say.
Oh yeah, so there was a man.
Penalize us.
I believe that most people who worked here lived on this side. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so. But this man lived at the hotel and worked at the hotel, and he ended up killing himself. They suspect that something in his past was probably going to catch up with him soon, and he was going to get away from it regardless of how he had to do so. Cool old safe. I really love the old safe.
That's beautiful.
It is an amazing safe. It's so heavy. This area in here, for whatever reason, sometimes we get some very good answers to questions and things in this area. Again, for your safety. As you can see, sometimes the spirits walk on the walls.
Got big feet as well, that spirit.
Yeah, he's a good sized fella. When the miners and people that worked at the mine would get paid, they got paid in gold dust. And or something like that. And a lot of times they would say, oh, you want to cash in your gold dust? Yeah, come back here and talk to the guy, And the guy would whack him in the head and drop him down the floorboard into the crawl spaces and kill him. And then just take their gold. That's an old story that is probably got a little truth to it, but not a lot of truth to it. But in the same sense that's probably why a lot of these crawl spaces feel so scary. Because there probably is something creepy in there.
You reckon there's some bodies down there?
Possibly, because getting whacked in the head and having your money stolen from you and left to die killed in a...
It's the thing, it was a violent time back then.
It was, and this was a violent little area, a violent town, and even the cops were shady. And so I will tell you a trippy story though. When I had been working here doing the actual construction stuff, the one gal used to bring her dog with her, and he'd play tennis ball all day, and it's a big building, so he had plenty of room to run in. And somebody threw the ball one day, and it bounced, and the tennis ball headed down the stairs here. For whatever reason on the planet that I cannot explain to you because I've never seen it happen, that tennis ball stopped on the third step dead in its tracks. And that dog would not go get it. He stood up here and looked back at everybody and looked at that ball and, I'm good, I'm not doing it.
Ooh.
3 days later, somebody had to get something out of the basement and picked up the ball and said, here dog, here's your ball. And he took off after it, but he wasn't going down those 3 stairs. And how did the tennis ball stop dead in its tracks? Makes no sense. So, trippy little deal.
I like that. I like those stories.
So, like the paranormal wall talker that I am, wouldn't you know it, a whole bunch of stuff happened off camera between the end of the tour and our first investigation. While I was chatting to the lovely Heather in the hotel lobby, my eyes kept looking towards a certain doorway. I didn't see anything move in the doorway, there were no shadow figures or little ghosties popping their head out or anything like that. But while Heather was chatting to me, I felt kind of rude not making eye contact with her because my gaze couldn't stop looking away from that doorway for some reason. So I ended up apologising to Heather for looking distracted, but before I could finish my sentence, she interrupted by asking if I was looking at that doorway, because she herself finds herself also looking at that doorway for seemingly no reason. She also can't explain why this happens. I know, creepy, right? So this kind of left me feeling a little bit shaken up at the time. I can't put my finger on it, but there was just something about this place that left me feeling a bit uneasy. And I've never said that about any of the previous ghost hunts that I filmed. Now, I'm not saying this is anything to do with the paranormal. This could easily all just be in my head. I mean, let's face it is all in my head. So anyway, David from The Scariest Places, big shout out to him by the way, and I decided to set up a camera recording this doorway with a spirit box running while we both went up to the 3rd floor to film our 30-minute live stream. I'm not going to be showing you too much off that recorded footage because it looks and sounds like total shit. Believe me guys, it's the last time I'm going to be using this camera again for any of my videos. But in short, something did kind of happen while filming this doorway. And in the moment, I thought it was pretty damn crazy, but now looking in hindsight was pretty damn daft of me.
What? I've been recording for 19 minutes, but my live stream went on for 30.
Because you pressed it when you came down here, right?
I pressed it way before we went up there, so it should be going on longer than 30 minutes. I only pressed it once and it is recording. So it's not like if it didn't record at all, I fucked up somehow, I didn't press the button, but it is recording. You can all agree on that. Did you tamper with the camera? Well, when we stop this recording, I can check to see how the files are on there.
See what I mean? Total shite. So I'm going to explain what happened, but first I'm going to put my hand up here and say to everyone, yeah, I'm an idiot. And I will openly take any digs from any ghost hunters that I've taken the piss out of in the past. Here's your shot to get your own back. So, I set the shitty camera up, and as the camera was running, I went off to do my live stream. The live stream lasted 31 minutes. David and I then came down to the ground level at the lobby where the camera was running, and noticed that the camera had only been recording for 19 minutes, which made no sense whatsoever because I hit the record button before the live stream started. So I do mention at the time that I needed to check the SD card, and sure enough, the camera split the movie file into 2 different separate files. I didn't know that this was something some cameras did. At the time, in the hotel, I was freaking out thinking maybe a ghost hit the bloody record button. I mean, I know how stupid that sounds, but I guess I was really hoping for that to be the case. But in hindsight, of course, it was always going to be a fucking tech issue, wasn't it? I mean, why I thought a ghost would have double tapped the record button on my camera is anyone's guess. And yeah, I know all of this could have easily been left out of this video right here. I don't have to embarrass myself and tell everyone how stupid I was thinking that this was anything paranormal, but I am nothing if not 100% transparent with everything in these ghost hunting videos, even if it makes me sound like the dumbass I clearly am. But I gotta admit, in the moment, at the time, this was a hell of a rush. Anyway, back to the ghost hunt.
Hey guys, so after the live stream and the fiasco we had with the second camera, which I'm sure I've by now already explained to you, we are here now with, of course, David and Heather, the caretaker of the Goldfield Hotel, who gave that a great tour for us. We're on the 2nd floor right now, and we're going to see if anything wants to reach out to us and communicate with us via was it ghost box?
Yeah, ghost box, spirit box. I like it because it's kind of like a live interactive thing, and because we've had so many things happening right now, I want to see if they'll just communicate with us right now.
And you guys know I absolutely hate these things, but considering some crazy stuff happened earlier, I'm more than happy to give this another go right now.
100 milliseconds, as fast as it could go, no antenna. If there's anything here, Can you come towards us? We just want to talk to you. I want to open the door, and I want you to come and use that door to come to our side and show yourself. What's your name? Where are you?
I thought it said hello.
I thought it said Heather.
Oh, you thought Heather, okay.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Oh,
I heard, something came through.
Try again. What floor do you want us on? Do you want us on the first floor? The second floor? What is it? Do you want us on the third floor? The basement? Now's your chance to talk to us. This is the chance. If you are here, any spirits, I want you to scare me. Show yourself to me. Show yourself to him. He wants to see a real ghost. Make him a believer. Scare him.
I give you full consent to speak to me, touch me, interact with me.
Please scare us. I want to be scared.
Yeah, I want to be scared.
I don't know if I want to be scared. I have to be here more. But
2 out of 3. So
yeah, I mean, you guys can scare them. You guys know me though. Deep. It said deep.
I want to be scared. Talk to us. Give us a sign that you're here. Can you say my name? Can you say David? Can you say side-eye guy? Why do you back into this room?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just so curious because you
Killed.
Why did you backed up into this, like, full-on backed up, like...
I guess what it was like, because I remember Heather said that she feels like things like looking over her shoulder. So honestly, I just wanted to point the camera over my shoulder and walk backwards just to see if anything wanted to touch me. So I wouldn't say there's anything specifically that brought me into this room. I just kind of wanted to go into a room backwards. And that sounds strange, but I'm a strange bloke wearing a strange mask. What can I say?
Okay, everybody be quiet.
Try it one more time.
Sure.
I mean...
Oh, Heather just said be quiet for a second, so...
Yeah, I was just seeing if maybe they'd make noise if we asked them to be quiet.
Oh, them should be quiet, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, guys, spirits, pipe down.
Yeah.
Too much.
One at a time. Yeah, I mean, Mercury?
Mercury? What's Mercury about?
I don't know.
Is that a mineral they might get from the ground?
Metal.
Oh, mercury was often used to, help extract some of the gold and silver.
Yeah, sorry, when I say mineral, I mean like a metal. Was that one of the metals that is mined around here?
Not mined, but actually used to extract the minerals from mining.
Right, okay.
So it's used, yeah, I mean...
And they use it in...
That's a bit of a stretch, though.
I don't know, this is like one of those things where it feels quiet. Mm-hmm. Like, do you feel the same way that you did an hour ago?
No.
Yeah. It feels normal.
Yeah.
Feels like chill in here.
Actually, it does feel chill.
Like that, it's like the weirdest thing.
The weirdest I've felt so far, and the weird stuff that has happened, has been the lobby.
Yeah.
And then
And I'm a little bit more on edge in the lobby.
Yeah.
And normally
Which is
it's
weird,
the other way
because
around.
normally it is the other way around.
It is completely the other way around 9 times out of 10.
I mean,
Except today.
to the lobby then, if you want. I mean, it's
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
I'm interested to go to the lobby because I would like to go see the plate with the radiator with is that Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would like to go. I'm happy to check out that area, at the lobby and that area.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny that, man, because I don't feel these ways, but for pretty much, with the exception when we first entered the building, every time we've been in the lobby since after the tour from Heather, I have felt weird in that lobby.
Yeah, it's like you just feel like there's something.
Like when we were all just talking down there for a while, I felt weird in the lobby. Guys, we are now going down to the basement of the Goldfield Hotel. I have an Ovilus, which I've never used before. I'm not sure what to think of it, but I'm more than happy to use these devices. This is obviously David's, so thanks very much, David. So yeah, like David's going to be behind the camera, and we're just going to have a little scoot around the basement, because I believe the basement is where like this more malevolent energy, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to be. So let's have a look. Come with me. Let's check this out together. Right, the bit I want to start off with is where good old Ghost Adventures apparently had that brick incident from that very first time that they visited Goldfield Hotel. So apparently, what Heather tells us is that it was here. Well, through here, there's a crawl space through there, which I really don't want to go through because it looks really bad, really gross even. But it was apparently in there, which I've got to review that footage. Because in my memory of how that all looked, doesn't look like this, but I'm sure Heather's right. So yeah, just want to go and have a look in there. So apparently there's one of the bricks in there that was thrown around. Again, I've got to rewatch that documentary episode of Ghost Adventures. I think I'm going to make a video of that at some point. So, you know, stay to subscribe for that debunking video. That will be Decibel. Is there a darker entity down here with us in the basement of the hotel? I introduced myself earlier, but I'll do it again. I go by Side Eye Guy. But if you can say my real name in this device, I will share that in my video. I'm not sure you know guys know what videos are. We're recording a video right now. My real name is That will be bleeped in the video, but if you can come back and say my real name to me, that would be amazing. Whether you're a more malevolent spirit or not, maybe you're not a malevolent spirit, is there any body with us here? You can use this device apparently to communicate with me. Any spirits, any ghosts, or any body with us where you're maybe not aware that you're a supernatural entity. Sorry to break it to you this way, but you may well be a supernatural entity. I'm going to start yapping, and I hope that you respond to us in some way. Grey. Let's take a little wander. At any point here, spirits, if you feel an urge to touch me, I welcome it. If you want to speak, throw something, tap something on the walls or something like that, by all means, crack on. Maybe if you want to exercise your legs and go for a stroll, very much like to hear your footsteps maybe. There's lots of little doorways here for you to maybe poke your head out of. I'd very much like to see you. Please don't be afraid of the mask. I am by no means anybody you need to be afraid of. I'm just here because I would like to communicate with you. So earlier in our tour with Heather, she said this was a pretty good room, that activity can happen in this room. March. Start marching. I feel like a dick. Is that what you wanted? Or last month was the month of March? Was that significant to you in some way? Can you maybe say the current month of the year? What month are we in? What day of the week is it? Would you care to speak to us? Earlier, we had something happen with the cameras that we thought was pretty strange. Some things that didn't quite add up with the timing on how long the camera was recording. Would you happen to know anything about this?
Fucking idiot.
How creepy would it be? Because it looks so good right now. Like you saw something wandering behind the
Yeah, like the Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor going right behind.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at too, because I'm like, shadow just.
Imagine if you saw like the shadow behind that.
Can you show yourself over there? Can we see your shadow?
Would you like us to leave? Could you say it in this little box here for me, please? Got to admit, I don't quite know how it works, how you and this thing can communicate, but I'm sure you've had plenty of people come down with little things like this. You're probably used to it by now. If you could say leave on here, we'll leave you alone. Okay, well, we're going to leave anyway. Thanks very much for your time. If you'd like to, I don't know. Can't hurt to ask yet again. As we leave the basement, if you want to follow us, how about that? If you want to follow me, if you want to follow me to the next area we go to in the hotel, you're more than welcome. Come join. We'll do a conga line together. You probably don't know what that is, do you? So, a little too recent to reference.
That was stupid.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, we're a little quiet down here, aren't we? Return. Do you want us to go back to the room we were just in?
Alright.
Damn thing was quiet for so long. We'll give you another minute or two. Unfortunately, we can't stay too much longer. As much as I'd love to. I could happily spend all night here. Well, happily is a strong word.
But it's crazy that it said return
Yeah, that's interesting.
after leaving.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We've returned. Is there a reason why you'd like us to return? Did you want us to return so you could interact with us, communicate with us in some way?
It might just be doing it to mess with you.
Do you think, is this like your way of playing a prank on me? I guess if it was, you're not going to answer me. I always find that funny in these videos where they just ask the questions that would just give away the game of the ghost. If it was a prank or a wind-up, he's not going to tell me, or they're not going to tell me. Maybe you brought me back here for a big scare. Oh guys, that's the thing as well, like, if you want to scare me, scare me. Built. That doesn't really mean anything, guys. I guess they're renovating the building, I suppose. Yes, down here there's quite a lot of like new foundation-y kind of work done, so yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Considering this is like one of the areas that is being
This
under
bit here, yeah, there's particularly quite a lot of
construction.
construction work done here, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Need a little bit more than that though, guys. Can you wow me? I mean, don't get me wrong, the obvious responses are interesting and all, like, you know, something's happening, but I'd really appreciate it if you could maybe push me, shove me, grab me in some way, poke me, you know, give me a wet willy, a purple knuckle. Flick me in the nuts. Something. Or like whisper, you know, even if the camera can't hear, maybe whisper something in my ear. Or we can go back to the obvious, whatever you prefer. How do you feel in here, David?
Nothing. I mean, I think it was interesting with the obulus that when we left it said return. So that's something, and then it's saying built. That's kind of something. I'm not saying paranormal or anything like that, but it's interesting
You could read something into it.
Yeah, it's because I'm seeing it right here, something being built.
Okay.
It's right in front of me.
And we believe that they told us to return.
Yeah.
But I get that feeling like, you know, we were talking earlier, the only part of the building so far during this investigation that we've really kind of felt an unease has been in the lobby area. We've been to all the different floors now, not really felt a great deal, including in the live stream. And I feel the same way. Like, I don't really feel anything down here in the basement. I'm not a big feeling guy. Like, I don't feel much. Just ask everyone who knows me. But down here, I feel I'm not feeling a great deal. The only place I've kind of felt a bit uneasy has been the lobby. So how about we leave again? Maybe if we hear another return, that really would be interesting. But let's just get going. All right. If there is anything down here or anybody down here that has been following us around, we are going to go upstairs now. You need to kind of if you do really want to keep us down here for whatever reason, you've got to kind of wow us a little bit. So, on we go. All the best though. Again, if you want to follow me, by all means follow me. Okay, everyone, David is leaving the Goldfield Hotel, leaving me all alone. Thanks, David. Okay. So, this is going to sound very strange, guys, but my eyes have been darting towards, because we've been spending a lot of our time, this is like the little hub area, if you will. And my eyes have been darting a lot towards, this is why we got the camera pointed here, because I'm not the only one apparently. Heather felt the same way, I think, David, but this is, I've been just drawn to this area, like this doorway in particular. But what I'm going to do, I'll do it over here. No, I'll do it over here. Just because sometimes people say, oh, the mask is scaring off the ghosts. Maskless. Solo and maskless. And just in case anyone's wondering, this is the part of the hotel that Heather showed us earlier, where the Lady Elizabeth was apparently chained to the radiator. And her, if you heard anything there, guys, it's because the ovulus wasn't turned off. So in here is where apparently Elizabeth was chained to a radiator. And her baby was... horrible things happened to the baby. Really, really, really hope that story isn't true. Is there anybody around here right now with me? I'm here all by myself.
and I would very much like to communicate with you. Elizabeth, are you here? Now guys, it could very much, well I say could be, it very much is in my head that I feel like I'm being drawn to this sort of area since while sitting in the lobby. But on the off chance, if there is some kind of spirit around here, that is somehow drawing me to this area, I am here now. And I hope you are able to interact with me in some way. Is anybody in here with me? Was anybody murdered in this room? Could anyone please talk to me? I'm not the type to scream and shout and freak out. If you do want to communicate with me in some way, and to prove that I'm not just talking to the walls, then I'm right here. I'm all ears. And I won't freak out on you. By all means, you can touch me. Maybe if you want to make a bang. Actually, maybe we'll try that. Could you please finish this banging pattern, please? I'm probably going to be leaving soon, guys. Or Elizabeth, or whoever might be in here. And I'd really appreciate it if you could reach out to me in some way. Let's try that banging again. The old shave and a haircut. Yeah. Time's up. All right. That's all right, guys. We've stayed a little bit longer than we should have. I have had a great time here. I'm very much excited about checking out what is on those SD cards, as I'm sure earlier in the video I would have explained to you in post. But for now, thanks very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ta very much. Cheerio.